According to some of the kind Doctor Who fans that I've seen on Twitter, there's been some mixed reception to the first volume of Ninth Doctor Adventures from Big Finish, starring Christopher Eccleston, with some saying that it may have been too confusing and not necessarily the perfect jumping on point for Big Finish fans. And to be honest, I can see why. It does have a convoluted plot, and I think it may need a few re-listens, but that's not to say that I didn't enjoy it. I absolutely did love Ravagers, and it delivered everything that I wanted personally. It gave us something new. It gave us 3 stories all intertwined into one arc. It was a trilogy of stories, essentially. So with the second volume of Ninth Doctor Adventures, we got 3 separate stories which are not interlinked in any way. And is this what everyone wanted? Is this the Ninth Doctor Adventures that Doctor Who fans had asked for? Well, you're about to find out in my review of the Ninth Doctor Adventures Respond to All Calls, starring Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor. Cover art, this is absolutely excellent. It goes without saying for all of these Big Finish covers, whether it's Ninth Doctor Adventures, 10th Doctor Adventures, or anything featuring the classic Doctors. We have the Ninth Doctor there. We have Artie Berger, played by Damien Lynch. We also have this guy who is from the Planet of the End, and we also have this robot, and we have the TARDIS hurtling away there. We have a nice little vortex in the background. The Ninth Doctor's holding his sonic screwdriver, and yeah, I really love this front cover, especially as red is my personal favourite colour as well. So there is your front cover to Respond to All Calls. If we have a look at the spine, that is what your spine looks like for this. So as you can see at the bottom, it says number 2, and it tells you very clearly what this set is. It doesn't say anything like Ninth Doctor Adventures, it just tells you what the name of the set is, which is fine, and it goes very nicely with your first volume if you manage to pick that up. And I must say, it's very good. We're finally starting to build a collection of Ninth Doctor audios here. At the back, it just tells you a synopsis of what this set is all about. And we have 3 stories, this time written by 3 different writers, all directed by Helen Goldwyn. We have Girl Deconstructed by Lisa McMullin, Fright Motif by Tim Foley, and finally Planet of the End by Timothy X. Atack. And there is the individual spines for each of these stories. Each story in this set has very unique artwork. So here we have Girl Deconstructed, very nice front cover indeed. And then if we just take a look inside, we have the alternate cover, and inside here you have more details about the cast, the crew, and some BTS photos. We have the disc, so we'll just pop that out. You can see there's an advertisement for the Dalek Universe sets starring David Tennant. Also, there's a rundown of what this story is all about, so if you want to pause the video, you can do so right now. Next up is Fright Motif, very nice front cover showing Paris and the snow and everything like that. Again, you have Artie Berger there, as well as guest appearance from Gemma Whelan. And no spoilers, she's not playing the same character as what she played in Dalek Universe 1. If we take a look inside, again, you have the same sort of thing, BTS photos and all of the gubbins inside, and you have your alternate cover with the 9th and 10th Doctor's logo. Pop the disc out, and we have the advertisement for Ravagers, although personally I think it wouldn't make sense if you did not pick that up before you picked this setup. And there is your synopsis for this story. And last but not least, for Respond to All Calls, we have Planet of the End. And this is an amazing front cover. There's all sorts going on here. We have the android, which features on the front cover. We've got this guy here, who also features on the front cover, and they're a very interesting alien race, to say the least. They are known as the Incorporation. Once again, we've got the Ninth Doctor there looking all concerned. We have these pyramids, planets, and a bunny rabbit. And it's a very odd choice for a front cover, but in context of this particular story, it all makes sense, and all the power to it, really. It's an amazing front cover. Taking a look inside, again, you have your alternate cover as well as stuff inside if you just open it up. We also have 2 discs on this CD case, so this has the story, Planet of the End, as well as the bonus disc for this set as a whole. And we have an advertisement for the Ninth Doctor Chronicles starring Eccleston. And there is your synopsis for this story. Right, crunch time now. What do I think of this set as a whole? Well, I'm very happy to report that Respond to All Calls continues the greatness of the Ninth Doctor on Big Finish. Once again, right off the bat, you just know that Christopher Eccleston is having a ball playing this character again after all these years. And these 3 stories really captivated me in so many ways. Girl Deconstructed, set in present day, you have the story of a girl who is lost, but it's not one of your missing people, no, because it's Doctor Who. She's sort of trapped in, I want to say, another dimension. There's a lot of technobabble in this story, but honestly, just the way it all plays out, it is very, very good. You've got a very strong cast in there. A lot of the cast are Scottish, and everyone plays a really great part. Some really sad moments in this as well, so definitely worth getting this set for that story. If we have a look at the second story, which is Fright Motif, it took me a little while to get into this one. I'd say that on initial listen, it was my least favourite, although it has grown on me on a re-listen. I think that the guest stars, again, are really good. This is a whole mystery about this entity that is following the character of Artie Berger, and once again, a bit like Girl Deconstructed, it's a very sad story where there's a few tragedies. It involves a little bit of depression, and I think that the way that Tim Foley deals with it in his script is very nice. We get really nice references to jazz, so if you're really into your music, then this is for you. And this is set in post-war Paris, and I think it is a perfect setting for this type of story. And the sound design on this is just absolutely top-notch. You can just visualize all the locations when all of the characters are running around in the snow, and when this entity appears. It's very good storytelling, and actually, again, it's a really good story for this set to include. It's unfair for me to say that it is my least favourite of the set, because, as I said earlier, on a re-listen, this really did grow on me a lot. It might be to do with the mood I might have been in on the first listen. So I guess this story would be something which entirely depends on your mood. You have to be in the right mood to listen to this, but otherwise, really, really good story. Finally, we come to Planet of the End, which is easily the highlight of this set. It really complements the other 2 stories because it's just a really grand finale to this already great set, just because of those first 2 stories. With Planet of the End, we get more exploration of the Ninth Doctor, and it goes so much in depth about who this character is, and we get little hints throughout this box set that this character has been through a trauma, although it is not really indicated as much as in this story. In this story, we do get references to the Time War, we get mentions of Gallifrey, Daleks, and there's quite a lot of other references in this story. It really did surprise me in a way, because I didn't think we'd be getting references to the classic series in this, but it was really nice. It really did put a smile on my face. Christopher Eccleston just knocked it out of the park in this one, as did everyone else, as per usual. All of the guest characters in all three of these stories are top-notch, and they just complement the great lead performance from Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor. And the Incorporation are really great villains. The best villains from this set, bar none. And I think this might be my favourite Ninth Doctor adventure so far, when you include all the others from Ravagers. With the first two stories, I'd say that the stakes aren't too high, but with this one, you could sort of argue that the universe is at stake, because the Incorporation are really schemy. So far to say that they plan things decades or even centuries ahead. These beings are quite powerful, bit like the Doctor, because like the Doctor, these beings have lived for many hundreds of years. So it's a very good parallel to have the Ninth Doctor coming up against a foe with a similar amount of experience. The fact that these are also aware of each other just suggests that the Incorporation are not to be messed with. The way that the Ninth Doctor finds himself in a dire situation is really hard to listen to, but it's really great how he manages to get himself out of the situation, and I think it's a really good resolution, and it's quite funny what happens towards the end to the Ninth Doctor as well, without giving too much away for those who've not listened to this yet. But overall, Planet of the End, definitely the highlight of the set for me. Naturally, many Whovians are going to be comparing this set to the first set, and some people will prefer this set to the first set because we have three different stories, one set in the past, one set in the present, one set in the future. Bit like your old Russell T Davies format back in the day. So some people will be inclined to go for this one simply due to the traditional storytelling for all three of the stories. All three of the stories are standalone. All three offer their own different take. If you like your big story arcs, then Ravagers is the set for you. And I think from what I've heard, the general consensus is this second volume is much preferred by a few Doctor Who fans, just simply due to the nature of the way that it is presented. Do I prefer Respond to All Calls, you ask? Well, it's hard for me to say at this stage, really, because we only have these two sets, and there's more sets to come, with the next set being entitled Lost Warriors, which I'm really looking forward to. But for now, I'll say that these two are sort of on par, but I think the best story comes from the second set with Planet of the End. Very excited to see where the Ninth Doctor goes next in the next volume, and that is all for now. All I can say is definitely pick up Respond to All Calls, download it, get the CD, or you could even get the vinyl if you want. And I also say the same for Ravagers. I absolutely love these two sets, and I'm really glad to see that the great form continues here with Respond to All Calls. Will it continue with Lost Warriors? Stay tuned to find out.